My name is David Zuegn. I'm pleased to share how I personally identified and overcame my own CHS symptoms, so they no longer exist anymore when I ingest cannabis. There is one specific change I made, and I have not had CHS since my last attack. I look forward to demonstrating what I've discovered. Firstly, let me address some of the fundamental questions about CHS that have mystified researchers and doctors. So let's jump straight into my presentation. Let's look at the most 6 unanswered questions regarding CHS that I've found in studies and from other CHS forums. Let's look at the question 1. Why does CHS affect some long-time cannabis users but not others? Number 2. Why does cannabis turn emetic on the user when it's been anti-emetic over that time? Number 3, the big one. Why do most people, or most CHS sufferers, take hot baths and hot showers and complain of ice running through the veins? Number 4, many people mention they received their first attack not too long after a medical procedure or an operation, which was also my experience. Number 5, why does this occur in the morning mostly? And number 6, why are patients told that they will only recover when the cannabis leaves their system, and the only way around CHS to give up cannabis entirely? I'm going to refer to a study done way back in 1999 and then some more studies since then. Therefore, I'm not giving anyone medical advice here. I'm reading from published medical studies that have been proven correct at that time and over that time. So let's look at those studies. One in regards to Cannabis Gastric Emptying done in 1999 by McCallum RW. The end result of that was THC significantly delayed gastric emptying of all subjects, which includes food and alcohol. So another study back in 2006 was in Rochester, Minnesota on Drobinol. Now Drobinol is the synthetic form of THC, manufactured by medical labs for people such as patients going through chemotherapy or other related illnesses where medicinal cannabis is used. The findings, as you can see on the screen, here shows a slowing of gastric emptying was noticeable by 25 to 40%. It's a very well-known study. This clearly shows alcohol slow gastric emptying by up to 20 to 40%. As you can see from these studies, the more alcohol you drink, the slower the emptying, or the higher the THC, the slower the gastric emptying would be. Keep in mind these studies were done 20 years ago, now with much higher THC cannabis available and vapes and much more intense ways to ingest cannabis. Just how much food and alcohol is actually being held in your body. So we have studies to confirm the following. Back in 1999, cannabis slowed gastric emptying of both food and alcohol between 25 and 40%, where alcohol slowed gastric emptying roughly the same, 20 to 40%. Now don't forget, since these studies, we have had much higher THC strains and also vapes which enhance the effects even further. So my question here is, what happens when you use cannabis every day and drink alcohol every day if the THC is slowing the gastric emptying? What happens from there? Let me explain what I've discovered through my own process of elimination. What happens is the body metabolizes even slower the more you use cannabis and the more you eat and drink. Adding alcohol and cannabis into your body as a combination will slow your processing of both food and alcohol, as I've shown today in previous studies, alcohol at 40% or up to 40% and cannabis up to 45%. Therefore, a person who uses cannabis and drinks alcohol multiple times daily never gets to metabolize the alcohol out of their system. This could be up to 2 days, depending of course how much food and alcohol they consumed. A long-term user who drinks more than the recommended standard alcoholic drinks and uses cannabis every day, based on these studies, cannot expel the alcohol in their system by the time they start drinking alcohol again. The body absorbs alcohol quickly, but it takes a long time to get rid of that alcohol. Unknown to the user, they still have a portion of the stored alcohol and they cannot process that amount. At that point, it doesn't matter that the amount of cannabis you consume or the THC that is in your system. The THC or the cannabis cannot hold that amount of stored alcohol anymore. So this flows out into the body, causing what we call a critical alcohol poisoning event. That's right, your body's metabolism slows by half approximately when there is cannabis in your system daily, based on the published studies that I've just pointed out. These are studies done even before CHS was first discovered in 2004, and in every case of my personal CHS attacks, I've traced it back to the alcohol every time. And since my last attack, I've still been taking the same amount of cannabis but I've had no CHS symptoms because I've stopped drinking alcohol. So how can I link the symptoms of CHS to alcohol poisoning? Let's go back and look at those questions that no researchers, doctors, or anyone's been able to answer. Number 1, this only affects long-time cannabis users, some not others. So there are people out there that don't drink alcohol when they use cannabis, and there's others that drink in moderation. So these people naturally don't have the effects of CHS. Number 2, why does cannabis turn emetic on the user when it's been anti-emetic over time? To me, again, this is very obvious. Alcohol poisoning will make anyone violently ill, regardless of what you take. So let's look at question 3, the big one. Why do most CH sufferers take hot showers and complain of ice running through their veins? The common symptom of alcohol poisoning is hypothermia. The research done from the Mayo Clinic shows that hypothermia is a confirmed symptom of alcohol poisoning. So let's look at number 4. Many people mention that they received this after a medical procedure or an operation. And from my personal experience, when I look back on all my operations and related CHS attacks, there was nothing much I could do after my hip operation, so I sat there on the couch all day, used cannabis to relieve the pain, and I drank alcohol to pass the time. So number 5, why does this occur in the morning mostly? It's pretty simple, this one. The THC is worn off over the time you're sleeping, so the alcohol now is seeping out of your system into your body. So last but not least, I was told by doctors and hospital staff to give up cannabis completely. This is the only way to stop CHS. However, from my experience, it was the alcohol I needed to stop mixing with the cannabis. To finish, a simple question needs to be asked to everybody who's managing CHS or has done so in the past. How many days in a row did you combine alcohol and cannabis like myself and had an attack like mine? Since finding out this information 4 months ago, I've tried to help others by ways of Facebook forums, approaching medical staff, researchers, event organisers, government departments, Department of Disease and Control, and I've been completely ignored. In fact, one doctor asked me to do my own research and to come back to them. This is the only way I can get my discovery out into the open, so I please ask people to comment and share. For all people who suffered from a similar battle to mine, if this pattern or chain of events sound familiar, please comment, and most importantly, share this far and wide. Thank you.